I want to talk about Axos, and I want to really talk about their business check-in. And the big question is, should you go with Axos this year? Let me first give you an overview about this bank, and so you got to really make a decision whether or not it's great for you. Okay. And one thing I want to say is that Axos actually gives you two options. You have the online banking, and you have the like the regular brick and mortar banking. Okay, so if you happen to be in a certain geography in a certain city and state, you are able to do brick and mortar banking through Axos. But this bank is primarily actually online. Like they want to focus primarily on online banking. So that's kind of cool. I mean, of course, they like to say next level business banking, but it still remains online banking. Okay, so don't think it's something extraordinary. But what I love about Axos is that you have no monthly maintenance fees, you have unlimited transactions, and you have ATM fee reimbursements. I mean, those are the top three selling points when it comes to this brand. Okay, this is actually the value they are adding to your small business if you were to do business with them. Let me explain. When I say no monthly maintenance fees, basically Axos will waive the monthly maintenance fee for its basic business check-in, letting you keep your account open without extra cost, something rare for a full featured business accounts. Okay, so this is actually a biggie. You also have unlimited transactions, so Axos eliminates caps on deposits and transfers, allowing you to make as many transactions as your business requires without additional charges. So, if you are in an industry or you have a business that has a certain volume of transactions every single month, you will appreciate this unlimited transactions feature here. You also have ATM fee reimbursement. So with the unlimited domestic ATM fee reimbursements and access to a large ATM network, what happens here is that you can withdraw cash whenever, whatever you are, without worrying about fees piling up. So this is really cool because it's one of those things where you got to really ask yourself if you are in the right geography. I mean, while Axos offers significant fee savings, you also have to remember that they don't currently support cash deposits, which may be a limitation for you if you are a cash heavy business. So the thing is, if you think about Axos, I want you to understand that this is actually a digital first banking model. I think I've said that before, right? Online banking. So what happens here is that you have convenience at your fingertips. Okay, that's pretty good because if you have a small business and you don't really care about the traditional brick and mortar banking experience, and you're comfortable with doing everything digitally, then Axos can be a great bank for you to consider. Okay, so the company leans heavily into its online platform, and that's a win for most business owners. Okay, and so with Axos, you can handle everything from account opening to daily banking digitally. This is really good. You have a user-friendly interface. You have integrations for efficiency, and you have 24/7 customer service. Okay, so the user-friendly interface is something big to think about when you consider Axos because you can see that they've thought about the UX and UI to make sure. I mean, the US and UI of the platform to make sure that it's appealing to most consumers. So the company delivers a sleek online banking experience. So it's simple, responsive, and packed with features like bill pay, fund transfers, and mobile check deposits. So this is really good. You also have, when I say integrations for efficiency, Axos connects with popular accounting software like QuickBooks. So this makes it very easy to reconcile accounts and keep your books in order without manual data entry. You also have 24/7 customer support. So while there are no physical branches in most states, Axos provides customer support through a phone and chat, ensuring that the help is always available when you need it. So this is something to really think about, okay? Now, having said that, the purely digital setup won't work for anyone, okay? Won't work for everyone, by the way. If you prefer an in-person service or need regular access to cash services, the lack of branches could be limiting. Now let's talk about the account options. Should you go with basic or interest bearing? Okay, this is something to really think about. But the good thing is that Axos, again here, gives you flexibility. So if you're looking for Axos business checking, you have to think about whether you want to go with business interest checking or basic business checking. Those are the two options, the two core business checking accounts that they have, okay? Now, both cater to small business needs, but their features differ slightly, especially when it comes to the volume that you want to go after. So when I say a basic business check-in, this account is actually great for your business if you seek no fee simplicity. In other words, you're not really looking for anything complicated. You just want to have a straightforward setup. Okay. So with this account, you have no monthly maintenance fees. You have unlimited transactions, and you have no minimum balance requirements. So this is kind of cool. No minimum balance requirements can be really appealing to lots of entrepreneurs. So that's for the basic business check-in. In addition, you have the business interest check-in. So that's the second option that Axos gives you. Okay, so this is great for you if you're looking to earn on your deposits. And what happens here is that the account earns interest on balances, but it has a monthly maintenance fee of $10 unless you maintain a minimum balance of $5,000. So Axos just wants you to make sure that you're parking some cash with them. Okay. So whether you choose simplicity or earning potential depends on your financial priorities. If you regularly hold a higher balance, business interest checking might give you more value over time, especially when you think about the yield that the company is paying you. So if you think about Axos Business Check-in, what I love about that is that you have a platform that helps you big time around tax time. See, the whole thing is when you have a business checking account, you shouldn't be thinking about only the cash inflows and cash outflows. You have to think also about your compliance, your compliance strategy. And when I say compliance strategy, I'm talking about taxes, of course, and taxes at the federal level, but also at the state level. So whether you file a 1065, 1120S, or 1120, Axos makes it very easy for you to actually get things done faster. Why? Because what Axos does is that it gives you tools to help you stay organized year round when it comes to taxes. Okay, so the like Axos integration with accounting software streamlines expense tracking and categorization, so you can file with confidence when April rolls around. So you don't have to really know. Like think about it. If you want to write off certain things on your taxes, this categorization can help you big time. And I'm not just talking about categorization randomly. No, this is actually done in a pretty straightforward, streamlined, and efficient manner. Especially if you're doing the categorization already in your accounting software. Once you integrate that with Axos, you can get things done faster. So also having a dedicated business account simplifies tax deductions. Let's say in a scalable manner. When you separate business and personal finances, tracking deductible expenses like supplies, travel, marketing, etc., becomes much easier, especially when the amounts are really high. Okay, so this is actually one of the biggest advantages of a business checking account, and Axos does a great job in terms of helping you make the whole thing seamless. So you're able to file your taxes really fast. So really fantastic. So let me talk to you about a few warnings here. So if you think about Axos Business Check-in, you need to understand that you do have expensive cash deposits and there are no physical branches. You also have a high balance requirements, and especially for interest accounts, and you do have limited financial tools. Let me explain. So when I say expensive cash deposits, you have to understand if your business relies heavily on cash, Axos may not be the right bank for you. I think I've already told you before that Axos has put forward a digital only banking. Okay, and so it's important to understand that they have actually they've put in place a fee-based system. So their fee-based system for cash deposits through a third-party networks can be a hassle because the costs add up quickly, making it less appealing for industries like retail or food service. So something to really think about. If you are in retail or food service, Axos may not be the right bank for you, especially this year. So also there are no physical branches, and I mean there are actually a few, very few branches, but those branches offer the bare minimum. Okay, so that's why I didn't want to talk about them. But so yeah, Axos fully digital setup means no in-person service. So this is not an issue for digital first businesses. If your business is a digital first business, then you wouldn't really care. But if you happen to prefer, let's say, a face-to-face support, you may find the lack of branches limited, especially when you have to do certain transactions and you like to have guidance. Because see, the thing is that some businesses are digital first because they're pretty comfortable with their own operational setup, and also their transactions are not really complicated. But if you happen to have a let's say a business model that has quote unquote complicated let's say transactions, then you have to really ask yourself whether or not Axos can help you or Axos can be really good for you, because there is no physical branch to kind of help you out. One thing I want to say is that when it comes to the lack of physical branches, you have to understand it's not really a deal. It's not really a deal breaker, because you always have the opportunity to pick up the phone and have a conversation with someone. So if you can't go to a physical branch, at least you can talk to someone and see whether or not the transaction that you are contemplating can actually happen or not. So if you think about Axos Business Check-in, one thing I want to say here is that when I say business like high balance requirements, I think I've said this before, right? You probably heard that the business interest checking account requires a 5,000 minimum balance to waive the $10 monthly fee. Okay, now that's a big ask for businesses managing tight cash flow or those just starting out. So if you have a startup right now, don't go for the business interest checking account. Or if your accounts receivable are not really consistent, like if one month you are doing 2,000, the the next month you're doing 10,000, the month after you're doing 3,000. If there is no consistency in your cash flow, just go with the regular checking account. I mean, you will lose a little bit in terms of interest, but hey, listen, it's way better than paying every month $10. Okay, that's a minimum. Also, when I say limited financial tools, of course, everybody. I mean, Axos likes to say, well, we offer basic integrations with software like QuickBooks. Yes, that's true, but beyond QuickBooks, you don't have that many other tools. That's number one. Number two, when it comes to the integration with QuickBooks, you don't have a lot of features within that integration. Like you don't have features like real-time expense categorization or in-depth budgeting tools. Okay, so if your business relies on detailed financial insights, this can be a deal breaker, especially from a flexibility point of view. If you are trying to really see how your business is doing, and you're trying to make decisions right away, Axos is definitely not going to help you from that point of view. So what's the decision here? If you think about Axos business checking, the question is Axos business checking right for you? I mean, it's one of those things where you got to really ask yourself. It's it's a great bank. It's a great fintech. Okay, that has been growing like crazy for the last few years, and whether or not is right for you depends on a few things. You got to really understand that Axos is an excellent choice for your business if you value actually flexibility and online convenience. It's particularly appealing if you operate primarily online or don't require in person banking services. If unlimited transactions and the fee of free banking are actually a high priorities for you, or your business doesn't handle large amounts of cash deposits. I mean, the large amounts of cash deposits is I mean, those are really important for many industries, and you got to really ask yourself what's really important in terms of flexibility, but also in terms of speed, because Axos Business Checking delivers on its promise of low fees and digital convenience, right? But it isn't actually perfect for some industries. So it's one of those things where you got to really ask yourself where you are at right now in terms of in terms of your company's operations and what your needs really are. Okay, and one thing I want to say also is that you got to really understand that your sorry about that that your banking needs are going to affect exactly how your overall cash inflows and cash outflow are going to follow through. And don't forget that Axos is not the only fintech, the only online bank available. You have Mercury, you have North One, you have Brex. You have a lot of players in a very crowded industry, by the way. So that's something to really keep in mind. So in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about Axos Business Checking. I gave you the overview, the warnings, the decision, and now the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.